Hi everyone, Texas Tutor here. Today I will be teaching you the product rule for derivatives. Here is the product rule formula. H of x equals f prime of x times g of x plus f of x times g prime of x. It may look confusing, and really it is at first glance, so let's work an example. That's my favorite way of working through complicated looking problems. So, for our example, h of x equals 5x squared e to the x. What we want to find is h prime of x, or the derivative of h of x. It's the same thing. So, it says for our product rule equation, we need it in two parts, an f of x and a g of x. So let's split it up. We need an f of x and we need a g of x. Now, for the product rule, it does not matter what we choose for our f of x and g of x. I could make f of x be 5x squared or 5e to the x or e to the x. But I can't just choose the 5 for one of them. It has to be a term with x in it. For f of x, I'm going to say we have 5x squared, and g of x is e to the x. Now, as we can see in the equation, I'm going to need f prime of x and g prime of x too. So let's find those. F prime of x equals 10x, right? Because we bring down the 2, 2 times 5 is 10. So g prime of x equals e to the x. The derivative of e to the x is just e to the x power. So now let's just plug those back into our original equation. So h prime of x equals, let's see, 10x times e to the x plus f of x is 5x squared. So 5x squared times g prime of x, which is just e to the x power. Your teacher may want you to factor this, so let's go ahead and do that. H prime of x equals, let's see, what do we have in common here? I see a 5 and an x and an e to the x. And left over here, we have a 2 and an x. Alright, that's our final answer. I hope this was helpful for you. Thanks for watching.